Today, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's Week 11 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the New York Jets taking on the Miami Dolphins.
Take the Lincoln Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with the Miami Dolphins. Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They're coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And I like what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go. Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The give is to Bell. Bell sheds him off.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs. Establish what they want, running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. A give to Bell. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a draw play. This is Bell. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity late.
That's to Davis. He's got it. Touchdown, New York. Corey Davis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets have taken a first-quarter lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Here comes Jalen Waddle from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Dolphins ready to go to work on offense, led by their second-year quarterback out of Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 18 carries, 61 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Tua. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Crowder now to return. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Back on the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group, and sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there. A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. That's to the veteran tight end, Carter Landry. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, this is turning into something of a comeback season for Carter Landry, Charles. He's been, I think, a much bigger part of this offense than a lot of people expected.
He has said that being around this club has re-energized him, and he's really accepted his role as being the elder statesman of the team, the mentor to some of these guys. They call him Gramps, and it's a term of affection when they say it to him.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 46. This is Bell running right through him. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. 42 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Bell. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they...
Touchdown, Jets! Corey Davis with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead. Well, with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up because I'm not the head coach, okay? So he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive, and a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Quentin Williams in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Tua, and that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
Dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Now Corey Davis and the rest of his offense getting ready for their next drive, and his 2 touchdowns, a big reason they're winning right now.
So meaningful when you score and it's got your team out there in front. Changes the complexion of everything you're doing. It's one thing to score garbage time, but these count. This is a big deal, and he's making those types of plays, and I think they'll keep finding ways to get it to him.
I was just going to say probably going to go back to him. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
They'll look to throw. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Well, they'll try the jet sweep here. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Javon Hargrave there on the stop.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. And he gets it down to the 32. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. 55 rushing yards on the ground for him so far. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And a lead row. It's now 17-0. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps. And the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive is going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not. To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's Tua. He's got Fuller. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 3rd and 1, and Tua wants to throw it, finding Gaskin underneath. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And his throw here is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Fuller. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now it's Crowder. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. Taking it about the 1. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
This pass into the hands of the running back, Todd Gurley. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. Well, linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's taken to the 26. It'll go as a 42, making a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Jets now to take over. They're trying to get back on track following the loss to Buffalo a week ago. But the good news, they've got the lead right now here in the football 1st and 10. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 61 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them? And do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. On 3rd down, here's Bell. Well, the lane closes quickly for Bell, and he did not make it. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough at run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll drop to throw. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. Third and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, third and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
After the turnover, it's Tua.
This one complete to Jalen Waddle.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On first down, Tagovailoa quickly into the hands of Fuller. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Throwing now is Tagovailoa.
They'll get this out to Gurley.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So fourth down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit.
On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. The kick by Sanders is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Bell. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And that ball incomplete. He couldn't work free from his defender, and now it's third down.
The Jets on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. And open as Keelan Cole complete. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver.
It's a touchdown. Jamison Crowder, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Jets appear to be headed to a 9-1 start as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Gonzalez able to tackle on the PAT, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Setting to throw on 1st down is Tua.
That's caught. Waddle on the left side.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Tua. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Tagovailoa going for it on 4th down.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the 2nd half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. They'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Second down at 4.
They'll go again with Bell. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
90 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Now Bell. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Le'Veon Bell. His second touchdown on the season. And the Jets look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. A strong run there, boy, when he gets it, especially around the goal line like a bull in a china shop.
And none of us ever want to confront that bull in any china shop, do we? Any more than we want to confront him. Got behind his pads, ran with power, and got into the end zone.
What an asset around the goal line, a guy like that.
It's almost like a safety blanket, isn't it? When all else fails, hand it to this big back and let him power his way forward.
Gonzalez is good on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Tua now on first down. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. It's complete to Fuller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though.
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down. Tua going to throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Tua to throw again. And over the middle, this is Parker. 3 yards to gain there, second down. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock.
2nd and 7.
Tua sets up to pass it. And this is caught at the 8.
And the Dolphins are going to have a first and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Jets, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Miami, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now in the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.